Bill, what a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Bill Woodridge.
Woodbridge.
Woodbridge. I knew I'd blow that. Okay. Bill, haven't met you before. I've watched you work your tail off on this project. How'd you get connected with this?
I get emails from about 40 different environmental organizations every day. Everybody from Sierra Club to Climate Reality Project to Defenders of Wildlife, I get them all. And somewhere along the line, I think it was probably from the Sierra Club, I got this little blurb, well, here's the events that are happening in Goleta and Santa Barbara. And there was this one about if you want to volunteer to learn how to install solar panels and then participate in installing them, show up or call this number or, whatever we had to do. And I thought, well, I give keynote presentations, video and slide keynote presentations to high school classes and college classes. And I'm talking about solar and wind power all the time.
Wow.
Renewable energy, that's all I'm really bashing the use of fossil fuels and the pipelines and the trucking and the drilling and the fracking and the methane. I've got 3 different 25-minute, 45-minute, 75-minute presentations that I can give to classrooms or organizations. So I'm talking about all this stuff all the time, but I never actually had my hands on a solar system or panel even. So I thought, well, if you're going to talk about this, maybe you should know how they work and why they function, so you better go learn.
Wow.
So I just signed up and thought the class yesterday was great, thought the instructor was great, and I think it was a lot of fun actually doing this. It was hard work at sometimes, but it was a lot of fun.
Do you live nearby?
I live about 3 miles from here.
Okay, I do too. So tell us a bit more about the experience of the installation and the challenges and what it was like for you.
Well, it's a lot more technically intricate than I thought it would be. You have to really plan exactly where you're going to put the footings in, and so that they hit the rafters and not just plywood. And you have to plan ahead for how long the rails should be and how far apart they can be and how far from the edge of the roof they have to be. And putting the converter in was, but Brian was really good, explained everything to everybody, what he was doing and what we needed to do and why it works this way and why it goes here. So I learn better by watching and copying than I do by reading out of a book. If you gave me a book and told me, here's how you install this, I would go. Not a clue. But watching and having it explained at the same time was very helpful. So it was a lot more involved, a lot more technical than I thought it would be. But thank God I came and did this, because now I know that you can't just send a pack to somebody's house and tell the homeowner to go throw it up on the roof. No.
How was it on the roof? You guys spent a lot of time, and you got wind and you had rain.
Yeah.
And it was in question whether we were going to finish today. What was it like on that roof?
It was the roof we were on is not flat. It's not super steep, but you either had to be, luckily we had our harnesses on and we were strapped into some hooks, so you could hold on to your rope or your strap if you needed to walk down, but it's a good thing we had those harnesses on.
Was there any incident at time when you would have gone off the side without them?
Yeah. There was, because there's stuff all over. There's wires, cables, railings, footings, somebody else's harness strap that you're constantly having to step over like a cat memorizes where they can put their feet while you're holding on to the panels or something else. You can't always look where you're putting feet. So there were a couple of times where I tripped over something while I was carrying something else, not looking, that if I hadn't had the strap on, I could have gone over. And it wasn't for sure, but I felt like good thing I had that strap on.
And you spent 3 days on the roof with 9 other people that none of them you knew. Is that right?
Yeah, but they were all fast learners. They all were enthusiastic, and they all did one job or the other, or took over for somebody else. Everybody worked like a team, and by the end of the third day, we all, were hugging each other, and was like a team. Now, I wish we could go as a team, and now that we know each other and we know our jobs and we know what has to be done, I wish we could go someplace else and do the same thing. It was a little unnerving at times because the wind was blowing pretty hard, especially today. And you're trying to carry those panels, those 4 by 8 foot panels, up a steep roof and over the peak and down the steep as the wind is blowing at the panel.
They were almost
pushing you.
sail.
Yeah. There was one time when I thought, oh boy, if it blows any harder than this, we're going to lose this panel towards the end.
Or you.
Or me, yeah. But so we dealt with the wind, and the rain wasn't too bad on the second day or whenever we did it, second day. Rain wasn't too bad because we did the inside stuff before we did the outside stuff, so that wasn't bad. What was frustrating is when you would stand to hold something or stand and wait, the wind, and it's already cold to begin with, but the wind would just freeze you to the bone. So over your vest, I had a heavy sweatshirt, and that I would throw on over my harness to try to stay warm. And then we go push these, what do you call them, panels up on the roof and carry them up over the roof and down. So you'd be working hard and you'd start sweating, like a pig. So then you have to stop and take the sweatshirt off. Then you'd be done for a while, you'd freeze, you put the sweatshirt back on. So the change in whether you were working or not working was like freezing to boiling. That was an interruption of work occasionally. Other than that, it was great to see it all go together and to learn what works with what and where the wires go and what controls it, and it was fun to actually see a whole system go together after hearing about it in the training. It's one thing to hear about it, it's another thing to do it.
Well, Bill, what a privilege it is to have you come here.
Thank you.
We hope that you will come back and visit us.
I will.
And to see your baby on the roof, hopefully still attached and
yes. Well, I think it'll be attached. Those bolts are pretty strong, but whoever's got to be in charge of running that converter in there is like...
Okay, we're going to be looking at that yet tonight.
Yeah.
So. Sorry you're going to miss our dinner. We wish...
I think I will be able to make it.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I have to go do some other stuff for about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, but I should be able to get there by about 6:20 or 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bill, on behalf of Live Oak, we really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
We'll look forward to seeing you back here.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.